I heard that in Havana there are cats everywhere. Like everywhere you go, there are stray cats everywhere. Like in Morocco, everywhere they're just twirling around your legs, going meow meow. And on the one hand, like, you know, I love some things about the people of Cuba, but that's the thing that makes me think I don't think I should ever go.
It's not that bad. I can't really say cats are like my most memorable experience in Havana. I don't remember seeing cats really.
I heard they were everywhere, just like in Morocco. Morocco is a wonderful place, but if you go there, know that there are cats everywhere. Everywhere. And motorbike.
Running away from a cat.
Because I was with my sister and she didn't even know I was that afraid of cats. I kept jumping into the road to avoid being touched by a cat, and they're just everywhere, stray cats. And then I saw some tourists being very happy and someone saying, don't feed the stray cats, don't come near it. I saw one trying to get close and the cat was like and then I was like Welcome back to Extraordinary Conversations with Ask Chenai. This is part 2 of a 2-part conversation with Cookie Tatenda Dube, the AfroTraveller, a Zimbabwean travel content creator and flight attendant, or as the pros say, cabin crew with Virgin Atlantic. If you haven't listened to part 1 yet, I'm going to ask you to hit pause and go back to the first episode because we went in on a whole bunch of stuff. We found out how she became the Afro-Traveller. We talked about the power of shaving your head. We talked about what is couch surfing. Are there people who just let you stay on their couch for free? And we even talked with Vimbai about where there are places in the world that people practice cannibalism. So in this part 2, we're going to talk about Cookie's career. We're going to talk about cabin crew, her travel adventures, what are the best places she's been to, what's the worst place she's been to, what's the worst food she's eaten. So buckle up, put your headphones in, and get ready for this extraordinary conversation. Here's part 2 of our extraordinary conversation with Cookie. Okay, Cookie, cabin crew life.
Okay.
It seems so glamorous, and at the same time, like most glamorous things, maybe not all that glitters is gold, but it just seems so glamorous. And so many people, I think, probably envy your journey, especially because you work for an airline that is literally the coolest airline in the whole wide world. How did that journey start?
Okay, so it's going back to what you started, Vimbai, earlier when I was like, we'll come back to this question probably in another question. So I never, ever wanted to be a cabin crew. I remember sitting on flights and thinking, oh, I would hate their job. I would hate to do this. I just want to be a passenger. So at the time when I actually applied for my current company, I was just so fed up of life and I wanted like a confidence booster. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try and apply for a flight attendant job and I'm just gonna see if I can get it. And also I think I might want to travel for a bit. And then I remember putting in the application. It wasn't my current airline, it was the other one. The team in blue got through the assessment, got through the interviews, and I was like, wow, I've actually got it.
What's the assessment to be a flight attendant like? For in case someone's listening who
might want to do it,
asking for a friend. Don't worry, guys. I'm changing jobs every 2 years. Don't worry, I'm not gonna try to become a.
I think you'd be a really cool flight attendant.
No, I'm lazy. That's the problem.
You cannot change jobs for the next 2 years.
But what's the assessment like? Well, how do they assess you?
You get given scenario-based questions where it's like, if Mr. Smith showed up with a bag and it doesn't fit on the aircraft, and then how do you do like scenario-based questions? So that's the next stage. So I think they want to do like, it's a psychometric test. That's the one. You do a psychometric test because I think they just want to see how you process things.
I always fail those. And you know what? When I and look, I know I began my career as a management consultant at a big company, McKinsey. They didn't do a psychometric test. They tested they had a really, really, really rigorous test, another test which is like maths, doing fast. I did well at that. But when I applied to PwC, which I'm sorry, friends, but it's a lesser firm, they had a psychometric test to see if you were a psychopath first. And then I failed it because I answered everything honestly. So then I set up a new email address. I created a new email address with a slightly different name, and then I answered what I now realize I was supposed to say, and then I was invited to interview. Because the first time they were asking things like, "Do you like rules?" and I was like, "Nah, screw that. If you think so, you're done." Because I thought they would value my individuality, and it turns out they were like, "This chick sounds like a handful." No. So what's in the psychometric test?
It's funny you say that because you're actually, I feel like you're me or I'm you, whichever, vice versa. Because that was my situation. I always fail psychometric tests. So I had that situation. I had 2 email addresses. One of them was tunits@hotmail.com. And the other one was my name @gmail.com. So when I failed the T-unit one, I had to re-register because you have to wait 6 months to
before
reapply.
you can apply again.
Yeah, so I just quickly went
registered again.
Yeah, and I just did another psychometric with like what you're saying. That's what I'm saying. I feel like you're speaking to me.
But
like,
there's no woman's going to start up a podcast, is it?
Well, that was like nearly 9 years ago. So
9 years ago, no. But you know what? I think those psychometric tests are so dumb.
They don't define who you are.
But maybe they do. Maybe they actually absolutely define who you are. Because in retrospect, now everyone's like, Chenai, you were always made to be a founder or a leader because you are a handful to manage. Who wants to have you? Who's brave enough to be Chenai's boss?
Oh my god.
But okay, so then you took the test, and then what happened?
And then I got invited to the assessment center. And when I tell you, the way they used to do the assessment centers back in the day, they don't do it like this anymore. It was giving X Factor. You know X Factor or Pop Idol?
There were hundreds of people looking
like
desperate.
You show up and then you do what you do. You go into a room and they're like, "Hi guys, I'm sorry. You made it to the next round." So it was so cringe, but anyways.
How many people would be there waiting?
I think it would be like a big bunch of us. Maybe we started off as like a big group of like 50.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, we're just left with like maybe like 20 or something.
Yeah.
To go to the one-to-one interviews. But it was literally giving X Factor, Britain's Got Talent. You do activities throughout the day. You do a lot of team building exercises where you work in a team, and the assessors are literally walking around making sure like, can you work in a team? Can you work in a team? Can you work in a team? And
mainly they're assessing how well you work in a team.
Yeah. And then you get separated. Sorry, you guys are going home. Sorry, you guys, I'm sorry. You're going to the next round type of vibe. So that's literally how the assessment day was like. So I made it through the final round and everything. I got to the interview and I literally crumbled. You know what I'm just going to say? It was British Airways. And I crumbled in the interview stage.
Crumbled how?
As in, like,
you did
every
badly.
time they would ask a question, I was like, because there was a girl who came out of the interview and she was shivering and crying and shaking.
She infected you with her energy of failure.
She infected me, yeah.
Zora, a spirit of failure.
Yeah, energy is actually infectious. Yeah, because by the time I sat in that interview, I couldn't help it. Like, I was just like,
they were like, "What's your name?" And you were like,
literally. So I remember going home that day and then receiving the rejection email that evening. Oh my gosh, I went to bed with my shoes on and I cried all night. I was like, I'm not good enough. So because I put 2 applications at the same time, my current airline, Virgin, messaged me, like, I think about a couple of days later.
What's meant for you will never miss you. What's meant for you will never, ever miss you. I don't know who needs to hear this right now, guys. What's meant for you will never miss you. If something's not meant for you, you won't get it, even if it's between your very lips. And if something is meant for you, it will come to you, even if it's under a giant mountain. Here.
Even if you're not looking for it.
Even if you're not looking for it.
Because I was not looking for my current airline at all. I thought I was going to make it to the blue team. And then I remember my mom just saying to me, just go to the assessment. You've got nothing to lose. I was like, oh, but I just failed this one. What makes you think I'm going to get the other one? And she said, just go. You've got nothing to lose. So I went ahead. Because I was like, you know what, mom just said it. At least I can say I've done it, And then I went to the assessment. And then bish, bash, bosh. Like, I felt like I was just flourishing stage after stage after stage after stage. from the 1-to-1. They loved me. They liked me. They were all smiley. They were all like, you know, and like I remember there's a girl I met at that day at the assessment, and till now we're still cool, and I'm just like, wow, yeah. And that job was just not even problematic. I got it just like that.
Wow. And is it really hard to get a job as a cabin crew member? I imagine they get thousands of applications because it's a job a lot of people romanticize.
No, to be quite honest, nowadays it's actually not a difficult job to get, especially in the UK. At the time that I joined, I would say it was a bit tricky, but it's not difficult anymore now because they actually just need crew nowadays. It's like how there's a shortage of pilots, there's a shortage of...
Yeah.
They just need crew nowadays.
And what do you think you would advise if someone is listening and wants to be a cabin crew member? What kind of people do they normally look for?
Apply, have confidence, be yourself. If you are yourself and you're not pretending to be someone you're not, you'll get the job. Just be yourself and be confident.
That's not really helpful because what if yourself is... People always say be yourself. Look, we were ourselves in the psychometric test.
Okay, be friendly, be very be switched on, be friendly, be just very like welcoming. I mean, I know for my company, I can speak for my company, being yourself takes you a long way because my company, we're not robots, we're actually literally ourselves.
I love your company. I even have the credit card so I can collect only points to fly with Virgin.
Yeah, literally for my company, be yourself. But in other airlines, just I would say confidence is key. Don't doubt yourself, don't look a bit iffy, just be very confident. Walk into a room and just look the part.
Be confident in yourself. Yeah.
Oh, and just to say, I had my hair looking like this, not blonde, but it was black at the time, and I was actually scared about having short hair like this. And I remember saying to the interviewer, oh, I can actually wear a wig in case I get the job. And the interviewer said to me, don't be silly, you look beautiful the way you are, and we love you the way you look. Yeah,
but that's very on brand with your employer. They do. You don't expect to go there and just see like boring regular people. You're kind of disappointed if the cabin crew comes and they look like, because even their ads, weren't you in one of their ad campaigns?
I actually was.
You were. I saw you in one of their ad campaigns.
And just a couple of weeks ago, I was actually promoting this new afternoon tea they're doing for the Cancun launch.
Yeah, so because they love that. I love it too. Our Zimbabwean, our very own child of Zimbabwe. What's the realest thing about being cabin crew that absolutely nobody tells you?
No one will ever tell you that you're gonna constantly be exhausted. Like literally constantly exhausted. You're gonna have bunions on your toes. Like literally. I have the ugliest looking toes.
Let's see.
Oh, I feel cringe showing you my toes. Look.
Oh please, they're not. They just look regular.
They're minging. Look at that.
They look regular.
Look at that. That is not cute. Yeah.
She has like
no,
what you call a
Vimbai, if you were seeing this,
corns.
You would agree. Yeah, bunions, corns, you name it. And like, I just can never, I'm just always exhausted. I can't explain it. Like yesterday, I landed from a trip. I literally laid on the sofa and I passed out. And my friend came home like around midnight. And I was literally just so sedated. And I was like, hi friend, I see you, but I'll talk to you in the morning. That's how exhausted I was.
But why are you that exhausted?
I just think it's just the older I've got, and I feel like the older you get in the job, like it just takes its toll on your body. Your body just takes a while to recover. I only did a 6.5 hour flight, so you're just constantly on your feet, up and down, up and down, up and down, checking the toilets, checking the galleys, answering to call bells, like 1,000,001 call bells. So you're just on your feet constantly.
Wow.
Would you say that, like, spending, aside from like that standing all the time, the peopling energy, if there's such a thing, is also like coming into play.
Absolutely. That does take a lot of energy, just having to entertain people, having to like listen to people, having to just be present, and there's someone just wants to tell you about what they were doing. Someone wants to just, you just have a full life therapy session at like 4 a.m. in the morning, and someone is coming to do yoga at the back galley and just talking about like how they've been hiking, how they've been doing A, B, C, and D, and you're just like, okay.
Yes, that's what I mean. Just, I feel like it takes a lot spending time with people, just maintaining that conversation and maintaining that energy.
Because you always have to be smiling, you always have to be available, you always have to be responsive.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you mean, right, Vimbai?
You just have to listen and smile. So that is also draining. And sometimes when you're going through stuff, you can't pour from an empty cup, but you just still have to pour from that empty cup, and that just even swallows you up even more. But hey, we move, we keep it pushing. Yeah.
Get that. Do you have any weird and wild stories you're allowed to share?
I had a recent trip to Jamaica like 2 weeks ago, the night before your party. I was just coming from Jamaica, and we had, I don't know if you saw this on social media, there was a girl who decided to like fight a man. Like she was punching him up, boxing him up, and beating him up pretty much. And literally the whole cabin was just like, it was giving shade room. Like everyone was just filming like this woman all dressed in pink fighting a man.
That was on your flight?
On my flight.
Oh, and then you have to separate the fight?
So luckily it happened before the aircraft door was shut. So they were able to be offloaded. But even the security never came on board. So we had to deal with it and stop the fight.
My goodness. That's terrifying. Yeah. But the thing I wonder, like, when you're on the flight, once, my friend was telling me she was on a flight that had such terrible turbulence. Unbelievable. And normally you look at the flight attendants and then you're like, they're fine, so it must be fine. But then she said on this one, the flight attendant looked terrified. She was shaking.
So personally, I've had one of those. We flew into a storm in Bahamas, and the turbulence was turbulenting. I'm not scared of turbulence, but on this day, I was afraid because the aircraft dropped from like a specific height to a lower altitude or lower height. And I remember coming off my feet when it dropped. I was frightened, and I could not hide that I was scared. I was scared, and I remember like crawling back to like the nearest jump seat and securing myself, and I was like, I am actually scared. I want to lie, I'm scared. And
why were you even standing though?
Because it was sudden. We just flew into this like
sudden.
Storm cloud, and like I just thought it would be like turbulent. We knew there were storms in the Bahamas, but I actually never thought it was gonna be that chaotic. Literally, it was so turbulent. And then I remember after we landed in the Bahamas, there was actually a lady who was hyperventilating, and I was like, I'm sorry, even if this was happening, if she saw my face, I'm sorry, she would have even cried even more, because even I was scared. I was even praying like, God save me. Yeah. Like
You
the
never
plane I jumped. I literally came off the ground. That's how, like, the plane literally dropped.
Yeah. You always see those videos of people when there's turbulence on a flight in Nigeria. People praying. So you were like that.
That was me, and I'm never scared. But that day, I was scared. That day, I was like, Lord, if I'm coming to meet you, like, yeah.
Not today. Let it not be my time.
What do you always carry in your cabin bag, no matter where you're flying to?
Oh, no matter what, it's always going to be my Ruby Woo red lipstick. As you can see, I'm wearing my lipstick, my red Ruby Woo. That's always in my bag.
Yes.
Either that and a backup one. Outside of work, that's always in my bag. That's an essential. And obviously, like, a little fragrance, because, I want to, like, smell good for the punters. You get me? Honestly, those two things, and maybe a passport. Anything else, I don't really care.
I have a question that might be a little bit sensitive, but if you're not up for answering it, please do like say so. But I was just wondering, I noticed that you are an endo girl.
Oh, yeah.
What's an endo girl?
So endo is endometriosis.
Uh-huh.
It's a chronic condition of which 1 in 10 of us have it.
I want to know, like, how are you managing that and work, and does that like not affect you at all in terms of like your like the type of job that you have? Does it not affect you being endo? Do we say being endo or having endo? What's the PC term?
Yes, it does affect me at work, but I think because I've had it for like so many years, like I kind of like know how to function with it. So I have sometimes where the flare-ups are like so like painful, and then I have some times where like I can manage the flare-ups, but sometimes I'm just so busy in my job that I can be working through the pain. And there's nothing you can actually do about the pain. I know sometimes I have, so I have this little machine called a TENS machine. You stick these little patches where the pain is, and it sends like electrical signals. So sometimes I put that like under my skirt, or sometimes I just literally keep walking up and down until the pain subsides. But there's actually nothing you can actually do. Like you just have to keep going through the pain no matter where you are at work and so forth.
You can't take painkillers.
For me, painkillers don't work with endo.
Oh man.
Yeah, painkillers don't work. I don't think there's any pain reliever that works. It's just having to wait till the flare up wears out.
Wow.
But strength to you for like continuing to work through all of that.
I know. Yeah. I don't know how I do it, but I just do it.
Hi, you're listening to Extraordinary Conversations with Ask Chenai. But have you actually asked Chenai yet? Are you drowning in admin? Think you can't afford to hire help? Think again. At Ask Chenai, we match busy people with smart, reliable virtual assistants, all based in Harare, Zimbabwe. And our packages start at just £159 per month. I'm Chenai, and I built this business because I was tired of wasting money on flaky freelancers. I needed support I could actually trust. So I went back to my roots and tapped into one of the most talented workforces on the planet. Our team are not your ordinary virtual assistants. They're extraordinary for extraordinary executives. Stop drowning in your to-dos. Start focusing on what really matters. Whether you're a founder, freelancer, or time-starved exec, Ask Chenai is your unfair advantage. Visit askchenai.com or email sales@askchenai.com to find out more. Let's help you get your time back.
What's the most incredible place you've ever visited?
Okay, it would have to be like 2 or 3 destinations. Havana, Cuba, Hong Kong, Lagos, Nigeria.
Okay, I want to hear about Lagos. Let's put Cuba, can't you say Cuba per side and Hong Kong per side?
Okay.
I want to hear about Lagos. I would love to go to Lagos, especially in December.
I love Lagos.
A dirty December.
Lagos is...
I read so many books that are based in Lagos. It just seems like a vibe. I feel like you often go there from your TikTok.
Yeah.
Or does it just seem like the best TikToks end up there?
No, I go there all the time. Like,
what's it like there?
Very, very different. It's very cultural. It's not like anything you've seen. Lagos is just a chaotic place. Like, Lagos...
I heard the traffic is really bad.
Oh, it's really, yeah. The traffic is... You can be sat in traffic. I remember this one time I sat in traffic for 3 hours on like a 20-minute journey.
Why couldn't you just walk?
Chennai.
You can't just walk around like that.
I'm actually just asking.
You can't just walk around like that. It's not like you're walking from here to it's not like you're walking from here to a WGC. It's not like that. It's, depending on where you are, you might be in somewhere that's very rough, somewhere that's very ghetto, or you might be like on a bridge.
So what do you eat when you're there? Do you go to regular restaurants and stuff?
I like local food, so I will eat my poundo, my jollofs.
Do you go to is it street food
soup.
or in restaurants?
Oh, mainly like orders from restaurants, because when you eat street food, I've had this one experience where I had street food, and for the flight back home, my stomach was just doing higgy haga, skelewu. Yeah.
Tell me, what kind of street food do they have there in Lagos?
Everything, suya, puff, like like local native soups, jollof rice.
Is there like one big market or lots of small markets?
So many different markets. Yeah.
So if I was to go to Lagos, it's not that I should look for one specific market. There are just lots of different markets.
It depends what you're after, clothes or food.
Food. I saw you drinking water out of a plastic bag.
Okay,
once.
so that was in Balogun Market. No, Elagushi Market. It's the art market. So it's like this market where they sell artwork, paintings, fabrics, you name it. It's called Elagushi. And yeah.
I saw, it was actually really funny. It was a trending thing on Instagram that was like, Nigerian guys love Zimbabwean women. Mm-hmm. We're so great. Although the number one comment, maybe one of the top comments or something was like, yes, we love Zimbabwean women, but they drink too much. And it was like, they're great, but and then I think a lot of Zimbabweans co-signed and said, yeah, mafaru. But it's a very good match. And one of the things somebody said once was, you'll often see like a Nigerian guy going out with a Zimbabwean woman.
Yeah.
That's because Nigerians are really, really OTT. Like, they do everything big over the top.
Yeah.
So they can handle a Zimbabwean woman who's like, kind of a little bit more chill in terms of her expectations. But you'll never, ever see the opposite. You'll never, ever see a Zimbabwean man with a Nigerian woman, because they cannot meet that energy. Like, when the Nigerian women show up, the Nigerian men, they know how to handle their women with their expectations that are this high. You show up, you got to show up with your wallet open and everything. And the Zimbabweans are just like, this is too much, I can't handle. But if you are a Zimbabwean man dating a Nigerian woman, let me know.
I've barely ever seen that. Like, I've barely ever seen the other way around. It's always the Zim lady, Nige guy.
Yeah, because the Zimbabwean guys, they may try to shoot their shot, but they won't be able to keep up.
No.
With the energy of those Nigerian guys. Like, they understand the assignments.
They certainly do.
Even like, they do everything big. That's why I want to go to Lagos, so that I can see the capital.
I feel like Lagos is like the Ibiza of Africa. That's how I feel.
I'd get my makeup done like how they do on those Instagrams. I love a lot of Nigerian literature.
I was going to ask about Hong Kong, because Havana, fine, but Hong Kong was one of my favorite places, so I have to ask, what is like your ultimate Hong Kong experience?
I'm just in awe at just how Hong Kong looks. The tall building, just the lights at night. I love Hong Kong at night. It's beautiful.
I was going to say the lights as well, yeah.
There's just something just very captivating about the night lights in Hong Kong.
I heard that in Havana there are cats everywhere. Like, everywhere you go, there are stray cats everywhere. Like in Morocco, everywhere, they're just stray cats twirling around your legs going meow, meow. And on the one hand, like, I love some things about the people of Cuba, but that's the thing that makes me think I don't think I should ever go.
It's not that bad. I can't really say cats are like my most memorable experience in Havana. I don't remember seeing cats really.
I heard they were everywhere, just like in Morocco. My Zimbabwean friends, Morocco is a wonderful place, but if you go there, know that there are cats everywhere. Everywhere. And ndakapota ne motorbike.
Running away from a cat.
Because I was with my sister and she didn't even know I was that afraid of cats. I kept jumping into the road to avoid being touched by a cat, and they're just everywhere, stray cats. And then I saw some white tourists being very happy and someone saying, don't feed the stray cats, don't come near it. I saw one trying to get close and the cat was like, and then I was like, I have an extreme phobia of cats. If I see a cat, my 8-year-old daughter has to hold my hand and help me cross the street to run away from it.
No, you won't have to worry about that in Cuba.
Okay.
Yeah, trust me, it wasn't like that. Unless if when I went, the cats were in hiding, but no. Okay. No cats.
Or they just like Chenai and they'll keep following her.
Yeah. When you have a phobia, I feel like cats follow you.
They can smell the fear. Have you had a chat with ChatGPT about this?
You know how we were talking about energies before? Like something about a current or something? I have wondered why I'm so afraid of cats. There's just something about them that's their energy. I like her energy, Kabo, that I just... But yeah... What's the worst food you've ever eaten?
Let's do the worst one. I like that one.
The place with the worst food
China.
you've ever... China! Really?
That food was awful.
I think... Were you there with real Chinese people?
I feel like the Chinese food we eat in England, the Chinese food you eat in Zim is not the same as the Chinese food in China.
No.
No, Chinese food in China.
My husband works for a Chinese company, so he goes to China. But he's taken to restaurants by real Chinese people. And he comes back and says the food is so delicious. I mean, it's not General Tso's chicken. It's not sweet and sour chicken balls. It's real authentic. He even brought us a packet of like Zondoro.
No,
Zondoro's chicken feet, guys.
it was just too full on. Like I can't explain it. Like
You can't explain the food. It's terrible.
it just wasn't nice. It was gross. And it's not even just one place I tried. I think I even tried like 3 or 4 different places until I was like, yeah, I'm just eating chips for the remainder of the trip.
Really?
I just do not like Chinese food in China.
You can't point to a specific meal. You're a world traveler. You've been where many of us Zimbabweans will never go. Although I'm also British. But what was the meal? What was it? What was the food?
It was something like prawn. It was prawn with something. It was just... I feel like I can still feel the texture till now. There's just something you really like about the texture, whatever seasoning they used. It was just, even the person I was with was British and she was like, nah.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. We can edit this out, but like there's this smell that's in the air that really put me off the food by the time I even got to the food. So I don't know. It might not be the food. It might be the smell.
Word.
But you know what? I've heard that a lot of food in China doesn't have any nutrition. My friend, she's German. She moved there and she said she lost a lot of weight until she started shopping in the Western supermarkets because everything just kind of like... She almost made it seem like there was a lot of... We're going to sound so unsophisticated. But she made it seem like everything was cut with sawdust or something like that. But I, for one... And this dog was on Yima visa going to China. I love China. I want to come to China. It's great. She knows on Yima visa.
I watch Chenai. No go flag yo Zimbabweans. They like us Zimbabweans.
Do you know what the worst food I ever ate was? Or where? I had the worst food ever in Estonia. I even sent a picture of my meal with no comment to my family group chat. And my family was like, the chicken, it looks like in translation, it looked like it was just rinsed. It was just rinsed in hot water, maybe. And it tasted the way it looked. And then there was another dish. Maybe it was rabbit or something. It's like not even salt. Just confusingly bad. So bad that it was an adventure.
Wow.
So terrible that it was... When it swings so bad that it's like, wow, taste this. It's awful. Wow. So it's memorable.
I would be offended because I take my food serious. So I would be very offended.
It's nice though. I like licorice, so I enjoyed being there. Vimbai, what's the worst meal you've ever had?
I'm trying to think.
Did you eat some human in Papua New Guinea?
Chennai, no, I didn't. I was terrified of going to that place.
At a
funeral.
At a funeral.
Quantikafa next. Will they eat me? No. But no, I can't. Actually, yes, Papua New Guinean food was the worst I had, only because I do not like anything that's banana related, and they cook with plantain quite a bit. So that smell and the texture. And they also boil quite a lot of their food, so I didn't like that.
You don't eat bananas?
No, I do not. They smell bad to me.
I'm very close to a lot of people, my husband, my brother, my kids, people who do not eat bananas at all. They find the texture, the smell, everything about them disgusting.
Yes. And my mom did that thing when I was a kid where she would like grind, kukuya, she'd like smash it with a fork, and then I have to eat that mushy thing. So the smell, I will not take anything. Banana loaf, banana split, I don't care. I won't eat it.
Plantain.
Even plantain, I don't care. As long as it looks, smells, has the shape of a banana, I won't have it.
What's one destination that has surprised you and one destination that's totally overrated?
Okay, one that has surprised me, we have spoken about it, Nigeria, Lagos, because a lot of people have negative things to say about it, but it just turned out to be one of those places that I was like, I really love this place. And then one that really shocked me or disappointed me, or overrated, would be the States. Sorry to say, I know you live there, but
I'm not American. Why do people say sorry to say to me?
No,
I'm
but
so American.
You lived there at some point.
Just because I lived somewhere doesn't mean I have to defend Trump's America. Sorry, I'm taking my visa. I'm taking it out.
So much for saying that.
No, the US is overrated. It's so overrated.
They have a good marketing campaign.
But the US is a very diverse country, right? I always say, you get to the US, if you're in New York, you are not the same as if you're in Kentucky. If you're in Boston, it's not the same as if you're in Philly. If you're in Atlanta, it's not the same as in your LA. And a lot of people who go to America aren't really in the places that are vibing. I have to say, they often end up in places like that. I don't know why I keep pointing at Kentucky. But you have to recognize when you're in Kentucky, America has New York, it has Philly, it has LA, it has Vegas. You always tell me good stories from Las Vegas, Cookie.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to Vegas, but Vegas is just about partying and just getting lit. But
what's wrong with partying and getting lit?
I just feel like I can't resonate with the States. The food is it just tastes the food tastes very like artificial.
I have American
so
listeners.
Sugar and everything. Okay, sorry, Americans. Sorry.
No, we're trying to grow. But I think there is rich culture in America. And I think Black American culture is incredibly rich, and they've exported it very well. And it is a genuine culture.
I just feel like the US is very overly hyped.
Okay,
I mean,
fine.
I'm someone who grew up from the Zim influence, and a lot of Zim people were like, America this, America that. They even dress American, they even talk American, da, da, da. And then I went to America and I was like, oh, is this it?
Yeah, I lived in the US, and I think there are some things about the US that are absolutely cool and magical. It's problematic. There's some things you only get in America. There's a reason why the biggest companies, the biggest brands in the world are often founded in the US, because it's a place that has limitless possibility. When you're in New York and you're on your hustle and your grind, and you meet some dude and you say, I'm planning to do X, Y, and Z, the first response isn't, you'll never do it. That sounds too hard. In the US, people will be like, yes, and they totally believe in that possibility. People don't shame ambition. Like, I'm a very nakedly ambitious person, right? I've been told, maybe you should hide some of your ambition. It's not really British, And my husband always says, in America, you'd fit right in. Because in America, you can just drop right in and be like, I'm here, I want all the things. And they're like, yeah, babe, go get it.
Teens are making millions from their bedroom in the States.
And it's not just about money, that's what I'm saying, but I feel like you're given permission to dream big, and you're not shamed for dreaming big. That is an American culture thing, and something that a lot of other cultures, like I'm British, I do love this country, but we are quite bad at that. We are very good at being skeptical, cynical, squashing people's dreams, telling them things aren't possible. Instead of squinting for the yes, they're always talking about why things won't work, you know? And in the US, it's different. And the reason why things do work there is because they have that energy.
No, but like I hear what you're saying, Chenai, and you're absolutely right. I just feel like in terms of their food, it was a major, major letdown. Everything else, cool.
The food is good too.
No.
It depends what you're eating. It depends what you're
eating. They don't even have proper cheese, like.
But maybe you're not supposed to be eating their cheese. Eat something else.
Like everything is full of sugar.
I have a sweet tooth. I like their sweets. I like their desserts. I've been to many fine restaurants in the US, particularly in New York. I was there a few months ago, and my friend and I were on the Lower East Side. We found this Korean restaurant that we just stumbled into. Food was so good. We went there 3 times, and we were only there for a few days, but we were just obsessed with it. And again, there are a lot of really, really good chefs. There is a culture of people who appreciate food. So yes, if you're in Kentucky and you are trying to eat at Applebee's or whatever, and you're comparing that to a Michelin star restaurant in London, that's not apples to apples. But it's like the same people who say all the food in the UK is bad because they went to a Toby Carvery and had boiled potatoes and gravy once. That does not represent, Why am I defending America so badly?
I mean, in Atlanta, I went to a fine dining place. That's the only place that had good food in America because they had vegetables. They had it wasn't like, your typical Cheesecake Factory type of grub. It was good grub. Yeah.
You don't like Cheesecake Factory?
No.
You don't like America?
Yeah.
You don't like America?
No, I don't.
I accept.
So, Cookie, let's fast forward, right? You are sitting at a dinner table with 2 versions of yourself. You've got your 16-year-old self and your 80-year-old self. What are you guys talking about? What's the conversation like? What are we eating? What are we wearing? What's our hair looking like?
Okay. Obviously, 80-year-old me is going to be dressed in regal attire. Like, we're giving royalty, regal, you name it. And I'm going to be looking at 16-year-old me, and I'm literally just going to say to her, baby girl, believe in yourself, don't doubt yourself, embrace the season, embrace yourself, because you are a force to be reckoned with. And do not fear anybody and anything. Because, baby girl, you're a superstar and you rock.
That is sweet. That's cute.
I love that. That is a wonderful message. Almost everybody we ask that question has a message of support, comfort, that the older person is saying to the younger person, giving them confidence in themselves. It's a common theme. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, Cookie, this has been an amazing conversation. I have had so much fun. I wish that we could have
I
this.
want this to keep going for like a good 5 hours, but I've had fun.
You should come back. You should come back and we should do another episode. I have a few different topics that I think you would be a great person to just sit around and discuss. But my final signature question on all the podcasts, as you know, you have been warned because you've listened to the first episodes, is about the zombie apocalypse.
Okay.
Cookie, I want you to imagine the zombie apocalypse has arrived. The zombies are here. They are taking over. How are you going to tackle it? You have 3 options. Option A is to say, screw this. I think I'm just going to become a zombie. Being a zombie is the only way forward. Option B is to say, I give up already and just end your life right away. And option C is to say, do you know what? I can do this. I can take them on. I am going to fight these zombies. I'm going to take them fighting. What is your choice?
It's a tiebreaker between A and C.
Why would you even consider A? There's no option to say A and C. You have to pick one.
Because if I'm outnumbered, I'm obviously going to get bit.
Right. So you'll let yourself be bitten, zombified, rather than just end it. Even if you can see that being zombified is coming, it's happening.
Yeah, but I'll still fight.
You'll still
First,
fight.
I would fight first, but if I'm going to get bit and zombified, I might as well go down with the fight. Depending on how many zombies they are, I wouldn't go down without a fight. So yes, I am going to fight.
How are you planning on fighting the zombies? How are you fighting? What's your weapon of choice? Badza.
Oh, I can have a weapon?
Yeah, I want to know what's your strategy. Because people always say, I'm going to fight. You always get some person, who hasn't been to the gym.
I want some sort of grenade.
Grenade from where? Where do you live? People
Okay,
always come up with you.
It has to be realistic. It has to be realistic.
It has to be realistic. It's like right now, if the zombies come, I'm here in my garden. Look around. This is the place where I am. What weapons I have today are the weapons I have.
Okay. I want a bazar.
But do you have one is the question.
Okay, I actually
She doesn't even have a bazar.
I actually don't have one. Okay.
What's your actual weapon?
Okay, I'll use like a kitchen tool. So I would use like a meat tenderizer, that little hammer.
So you have one?
Yeah.
So you would go around every time the zombie came, you would just swing a meat tenderizer and go wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, and I'll put a little bit of kung fu inside, you know.
I'll put a little bit of kung fu inside. Cookie, do you know any kung fu? That's what people always say. Do you actually know any kung fu?
From the television.
But the meat tenderizer thing works.
You have to, you know what? You have to just do it.
Because you can tie like a rope around it and then you just swing it. That way they don't get close enough to you. I see your point. It works. I'm not joining you, but I see it.
You just gave her a weapon.
But the meat tenderizer thing works.
Vimbai, you just gave her a weapon.
I've got a better weapon. I've got a good weapon.
Let's hear it.
Mm-hmm. I'll take the cooking oil from the kitchen, splash it everywhere, get a matchstick or lighter, and flames will go everywhere, and I'll run.
So you'd burn down your house.
Well, it's a zombie apocalypse. I don't need a house.
But then when you're
I can enter any house.
And you'll burn down every time you see the zombies coming. You'll just burn down that house.
Because any house is to my disposal.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fire starter, Cookie Tatenda Dube herself. This has been a pleasure.
This has been an absolute pleasure, like Chenai said. Thank you so much, Cookie. I liked having this chat with you also because, like, seeing you do all these amazing things, and I'm like, you know what? We girls can do quite a lot. Keep at it. We're here watching you. We'll be following you. And we hope you'll be back for another chat.
And that is a wrap. If you enjoyed this conversation, do us a solid. Hit follow, leave a rating or review, and most importantly, share this episode with someone who loves a good conversation. Remember, we are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and all the other places where you listen to your podcasts. So there's no excuse not to share it. That's how more people find these episodes. And of course, don't forget to follow the AfroTraveller. I'll drop her links in the show notes. We'll be back again next week with another extraordinary guest, another extraordinary story, another extraordinary conversation. Until then, take care and thanks for listening. You're listening to Extraordinary Conversations with Ask Chenai. But have you actually asked Chenai yet? Are you drowning in admin? Think you can't afford to hire help? think again. At Ask Chenai, we match busy people with smart, reliable virtual assistants, all based in Harare, Zimbabwe. And our packages start at just £159 per month. I'm Chenai, and I built this business because I was tired of wasting money on flaky freelancers. I needed support I could actually trust, so I went back to my roots and tapped into one of the most talented workforces on the planet. Our team are not your ordinary virtual assistants. They're extraordinary for extraordinary executives. Stop drowning in your to-dos. Start focusing on what really matters. Whether you're a founder, freelancer, or time-starved exec, Ask Chenai is your unfair advantage. Visit askchenai.com or email sales@askchenai.com to find out more. Let's help you get your time back.